All right. And we're off. Welcome once again to the Shlicketty Newcast. Holy crapperoons, man. Episode 52. Oh my gosh. Wait, Mike's not gonna knock yet. He gets knocking a little early today. Today we're not gonna knock so early. Hold on, Mike. Tell you what, here's what we got going on. It's our anniversary episode, number 52, which means we've been at it for a year. Time flies when you're having fun. Glad you tuned in. So we're not gonna do, well, yeah, why don't I get Mike in here? He'll help me with this one. All right, here's my buddy Mike.
There we are. It's a 52 of these so far. That's a year on Earth, according to the Gregorian calendar we use or whatever. Julian calendar, as the case may be.
Hey, I just noticed. I forgot. Remember that episode we named him Lucky Juarez?
Right.
We put the Cracker Jack sticker on Lucky Juarez.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Cracker Jack sticker.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know what he had there before that, but I like the
Well,
Cracker Jack
probably some little Chinese thing.
Yeah. No, the Cracker Jack sticker's better.
Yeah.
It looks like he's eating the Cracker Jacks.
yeah. Lucky Juarez.
Lucky Juarez.
This episode, we're just going to go back in time. We're going to talk about the episodes because we're at 52.
This is episode 52, and we do it weekly, so therefore, it's a calendar year.
Calendar year for us.
So you can go back, I believe on our YouTube, to episode 1.
Yeah, well, I started posting some of the old ones from your old living room. You'll see them if you go to a playlist. There's a few of them there. I left a few out because they're just so terrible. And I was trying to...
So they're not all there then?
No, it starts when we got the studio. I call them the blue episodes.
I know episode 4 is on there.
Yeah, I think it was like episode 7 or 8. We got the studio down the hall, and then we had the blue backdrop before we got the cityscape.
Yeah, we still have the blue backdrop, but it's just in other places.
Yes. So that was cool. Yeah, but I like the blue episodes because the blue episodes we were newly into the studio, so we're like, all right, we're trying to figure out our lighting and our angles.
Yeah.
But it was close.
We don't quite have the angles yet.
No, we're always a little bit off. But hey, it's a DIY project, so what do you want? It's for free. Also, too, hey, here's another upgrade since we're at a year. So starting probably next week, as soon as they go, all right, you're in, Tiger. If you're an audio guy and you want to listen to our stupid thing, our show, and listen to the audio version, it's going to be on all the platforms. So you go to Deezer or what.
If you got a long train ride or you want to take us with you to the grocery store.
I like this YouTube version because I think there's nuances between us visually, and I like to goof it up.
But you like making faces.
Yeah, I think it's part of the schmuck that we do because that's how we are in real life. I don't know if it translates super awesome over audio, but some folks prefer that. So. And like Mike said, if you're traveling, hey, you want to download? I'm gonna download episode 15.
I do that sometimes. Like I was thinking the other day. Sometimes it makes me feel so stupid. I was listening to the David Spade, Dana Carvey podcast, The Fly on the Wall.
Yeah, fun.
Which is the audio only one.
Yeah.
And I've got it on my iPad in the kitchen on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I still habitually will every now and then look over at the screen.
Yeah.
Like I'm catching up on something. There's literally nothing to look at.
Yeah.
Like Adam Savage used to do that with his old podcast, still untitled. Yeah. It was just them in his cave sitting around a round table. It's 3 of them sitting there, and there was just one camera on a static shot.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think it was I like it from the WTF, the Mark Maron. He set the standard for that. It's okay. I mean, it's just let's talk.
I don't even know if I saw a lot. Did he do video, or was it all audio?
I don't know. I mean, I've only listened to audio. I'm sure there's video of things. There's, but I
like that show that he had that made it look like he was doing his podcast.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
that was funny because it was just him kicking around his house, and he'd try and cajole people to come over and visit him.
Right, and cameos with his real life cats.
Well, yeah. So there was some comedians did a podcast of Mark Maron's cats. They're called Podcats. It was on the. What was that?
What?
It was on the Earwolf Podcast Network.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have audio if you're into it.
Sorry, I digress.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, if people have jobs and stuff like that, if they got time to kill, it's nice to put on an hour and a half long podcast and run it all day, or throw on
Some of us, I know a lot of people who have joined the Shlicketty cast here like later on within the past 8 or 9 episodes.
Yeah.
So they don't have time to go back. I mean, I know when I join a podcast, I don't really go back in time. Dude, unless it's
when I was working in the offices and shit like that out in Arizona and stuff, dude, I consumed podcasts voraciously.
I guess some people do.
I consumed almost all of Kevin Smith's back catalog, other than the Smodcast one that he does.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to those ones. But I listened to the one that he did with his wife, This Morning Show, all those episodes. I listened to a whole shit ton of back episodes of Hollywood Babylon. I listened to all of his Fat Man on Batman, where, he started off just talking about his love of those Batman movies from the 90s, and then it drifted into sort of nothingness for a while, and it's just him talking about comic books he liked. And then he got into a real interesting period where he started interviewing all the people from comic books.
If you're a comic book head, that's gold.
I didn't know anything about comic books, but I found it all sort of interesting to listen to, because these were the guys that made all the shit, and he's talking to them, and they're telling their stories firsthand. It was real interesting.
Yeah, illustrators and colorists and shit like that for comic books, they're always interesting people.
Everybody. He talked to Grant Morrison. He talked to fucking, whoever's still alive. John Romita, Jack Kirby, whoever the fuck's still around or whatever. I don't know who's who, but.
Yeah, those guys are superstars in the world.
Yeah, who are the guys like Denny O'Neil and, people like that. I don't know. Anyway, comic book people. Anyway, it was interesting. A lot of podcasty shit. If you're sitting in a fucking office listening to podcasts all day long, we got a lot of episodes, and they're all about an hour and a half long.
Yeah. Some are better than others. I mean, also too. Now a lot of folks too. I get this. We have a lot of listeners that listen to it in chunks. Like my brother listens to it in chunks. He'll just go, "Oh, I listen to," and he likes the whole thing in the diagram, or if you go down to the description down there, the timeline thing.
Do you do that? Do you mark those and
I make them. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you just enter it in, they automatically make them.
Yeah, if you enter them in item description. Who's that?
Scam likely.
Scam likely.
Yeah.
We got to answer the call one of these days.
There's really no point.
Well, I know, but it could be fun on the air just to kind of razz somebody.
If you answer, then you're just encouraging them. They know it's a live number.
Yeah.
You know what they've been lately? They call and they go, "We're calling about the property you own on Humphreys." And I'm like, "Who are you trying to reach?" And they go, "Is this Mr. Ortiz?" And I'm like, "I don't know where you're getting your information, buddy."
Yeah. I get ones on debt consolidation loans, but a lot of times they'll call and I'll answer and they'll hang up. And it's just,
that's them checking for a live one.
Yeah.
And then they know it's a good lead, and then they could sell that to other people for money.
Yeah, fuck them. Fucking losers. God, that makes me mad. The barnacles of society. Barnacles, man. Barnacles.
Yeah, there's worse.
I know. So, yeah,
anyway, welcome to the anniversary episode. This is episode 52.
Sure. And if you've been tuning in with us lately, you've been noticing we've been going year by year. We've been going in the Wayback Machine. We've been doing a little segment of years.
Covering our pop culture stuff.
So next week we'll resume that next week with 1983.
Yeah.
We started in 70, 71, 70, yeah.
70?
Yeah, we've been going up. We got plenty to go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, we actually got about 40 more episodes. If we go by years.
Yeah. Yeah, it should get sort of interesting, and there should be a lot less of the there's still so much of that late 70s crap filtering through. You know what I mean?
Sure. But 1983 is kind of fun. Not a lot going on, but it's just more of the same. But whatever, we'll pontificate on that. But the main attraction, I don't want to say main attraction. The main attraction is us. The banter. I get a lot of folks that go, I like the first 20-minute banter. And then I get other folks that say they like the lists. They don't like the banter. So, it's all what you're jiggering. But if you're into it, here's the deal. We have best, worst of lists. Now, and they're not always the best, worst list. They're just little ideas from pop culture because we're pop culture heads. And we'll go, hey, what do you think about the top, things with peanuts in them, or top comic books, We'll pick a subject. Hopefully it ties into the episode. If it doesn't, it's loosely close within weeks. But today I did a little special ensemble. So I went nosing through the old episode archives and I was like, oh yeah, I remember that list. Oh, I remember that list. That one stunk. That one was good. That stunk. And you and I both had some clinkers on there, so we're both going to take a little heat, but we're also each going to get our flowers.
You hated some of my early top 5, bottom 5 lists.
Well, a little thrown together. But but that's the fun of it. So I made a best worst list of our best worst lists. Look at that, many layers. Do you see where I'm going with that? Best list of the best list. Oh, before I do it, I didn't throw it this week. Oh! Better late than never. Had to get done. All right. Do you want to do the list? Do you want to do the list now, or you got more to talk about?
There's always more to talk about.
There's always more to talk about. Last episode, I was sick. In between filmings here, Mike got sick.
Oh, yeah. We filmed last week, and then that night, I felt sort of a scratchy throat. I woke up the next morning, scratchy throat. Sick all Saturday, sick all Sunday. Had to call off work Monday, slept all Monday. I got over it, though.
Yeah, you're actually doing pretty good. You shook yours way quicker than mine.
I did. I'm really shocked. Usually when I get sick like that, it's like 2 fucking weeks I'm laid out.
Yeah, I had the 2-weeker.
But I don't know. I tried to process it through quick. Like, I slept at will. If I was tired, I'm like, nobody's looking for me. Nobody cares. I just zonk out.
That's kind of, you just really got to kind of, sleep it out, take some zinc, eat, sleep, water, and just kind of let it run its course,
You know, the thing I can never keep straight is, you ever hear this saying, and I may have it backwards, starve a cold, feed a fever? Have you ever,
I've heard
it could
that.
be backwards.
I wonder if that's
feed
a wives'
fever,
tale.
Starve a cold? I'm not sure. I wish I knew which one it was. Because I could lean into it more effectively. I don't know what I have, but it's always the same thing. It's the sinusy thing, the runny nose, the sore throat, the coughing. You know what? I was very fortunate. I avoided the coughing. You had the lingering cough.
Yeah.
I hate the cough. It gives you the headache and your ribs hurt. The coughing. Yeah.
It was nonstop. It was like a voodoo doll. Like
Did you get any of those? Did you get any of those lemon mint Ricolas like I recommend?
Not the Ricolas. I chickened out. They were like $9.99 a bag for them some bitches. I don't got that kind of money.
They didn't used to be that expensive. Dude, the bag that I would get.
I got the Wegmans version of these throat-soothing drops.
But are they sugar-free? See, that's all.
Yeah, sugar-free. They were sugar-free.
Yeah, because I used to just get the Halls or whatever. But God, they would make me sick with the sugar, man. It was too much.
That and a little too much. They were kind of like, all that menthol was kind of ruining my palate.
Oh, I didn't do the menthol ones. When I was doing the Halls, I was doing these like cherry ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they taste like cough syrup. They're coming a long way. What kind do I got now? This kind. Oh, yeah, this is the Halls. Yeah, this is the Halls, but it has, it says the word high five yourself on there. It's just a standard Halls, but I know this has a little throat numbing in it, which is kind of nice. It's not, because when you go to the store throat drops, they've got like 40 different kinds, and you go, all right. I mean, they got lemon, they got numbing, non-numbing.
I started off with the Halls that have like the liquid center. So when you get down to the center of it, it was like cough syrup going down your throat and everything. Those are like, that's when you're really sick. That's like the fucking jelly bomb.
Yeah.
But those are expensive. But the regular Halls were like usually pretty cheap. Now they're probably like $5 a bag.
Yeah, I
used to be
think I went
99
with
cents.
these, and then I got another alternate bag of the Wegmans brand, which is the knockoff version, which is half the price.
Because of tariffs. All right, all right. So
Yeah. So, yeah, the cold, I don't know if it's starve a cold, feed a fever. But I tell you, when you got a fever, other than soup, there's no real eating about it.
I don't know that I had a fever too much. So
Yeah, I did.
my girlfriend comes and touches my head, and she goes, "You may have a fever, or maybe my hands are cold." I could feel her hands; they're fucking ice cold.
As she's eating ice cream.
No. She just always runs cold now. She's always cold, and I keep telling her like you gotta fucking protect the core, and put something on your feet, and fucking put on a hat if you're chilly.
Sure.
Even inside the house and stuff like that. Because I like it cold. So I'll open the windows and stuff like that. Keep it breezy if I can.
Gotta get that air moving.
I like it that way. Anyway, nobody cares.
Yeah. So cold, schmold, cold. And the funny thing is, here's how I got the cold. Comedians out there, you're all a bunch of dirty, darn apes, animals.
Dirty, fucking German-fested bastards.
Oh, I know. When I think about it, it's like, and I know exactly where I got it. Because come to find out, I did a mic, and I was like the 8th guy.
By mic, he means an open mic.
Yeah, and I was like the 8th guy up. Now, come to find out, that weekend that I started feeling fevery and sick, and I was bedridden all weekend, there was a comedy fest going on around town here. And a lot of those comedians were on the mic pre and post me. I got the nosing around, and come to find out, a few of my comic colleagues were a little under the weather. And get this, it wasn't me who gave it to them. They were, the one dude who was totally sick, that could barely function, and he was totally sick, was the first guy on at the mic. So this microphone was infected. Infected!
Patient zero.
Patients, I was like a forensic, I was nosing around. So how'd you feel? At what time did you start feeling? I was like the detective in the detective movie.
Dude, that pisses me off, man. Honestly, take your own fucking mic.
I know. Post-COVID and COVID, we used to have these like little shower caps we were putting on them, and that was cool, or your own mic. But now everyone's gotten lazy,
Bring your own mic.
And now we're all getting sick again.
Bring your own mic.
I know.
Talk to the sound guy. Tell him, look, after the dude introduces me, cut the mic. I'm going to go up, I'm going to unplug the mic and plug mine in, and I'll give you a thumbs up, and then you can unmute me. Go. 2 seconds. You know what you're doing.
Yeah. And a lot of it, because microphones are gross.
They are.
And when you think about how gross when you put like comedian microphones, because we're all
You're making noises.
Oh,
and spitting
fart
and
sounds.
ranting
We're
and-
under the armpit. It's in the crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. Take your own fucking mic.
Yeah.
You got a box full of mics.
Yeah.
Pick one.
Yeah. So from here on in,
Take a D5.
ain't happening. So yeah, I'm gonna use my own mic, or if I have to, like I said, I got these little black shower caps that go on.
Dude, you should take one of those Shure green bullet mics for the harmonica and just hold it up to your face and just talk into it like this the whole time.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Damn dirty apes. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, because I was convinced that you got me sick.
No, because you were feeling the things the next day.
I was feeling it Thursday night.
Right, and that was the night no. I think you caught a different bug.
Because your girlfriend's super nurse, and
It takes 48 hours.
I thought you said 4 days, but
No, 48 hours is incubation time from when you.
which where was I that week at the new job? So
Yeah, and you're around new people at the new job, and you're in a new area.
and touching doors and fucking lockers, and everybody's handing you things, and
That is the thing, like when I used to travel down south a lot, whenever I come back to Erie, I'd be fine in Erie, but I'd go down south and I was sick, because it's like just new germs and new things, and just everyone's got different microbes on them, and we're used to our microbes in our circular area, but then you go into foreign territory and it's, and it's like, I almost picture like the scrubbing bubbles. Remember the scrubbing bubbles all over your face? you turn into the fly over here. So as you're turning into Brundle fly, yeah, it's disgusting. So there it is. I was sick. Everybody got sick. Open mics are gross.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't afford to get sick again, so
No.
you better take your own mic to open mics.
Yeah.
Because they're dirty as fuck, or you better start doing it like this. Raise the gain. You know?
No, I know, and I'm notorious for lips on the microphone too. I know, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I ride the mic hot, and I shouldn't. But all right, well, thanks for tuning in once again. We're gonna go back now. I want to do this because this might reignite some old listens to some old episodes. See, this is the whole idea, guys. We want you to go back to some old episodes. You can see how we progressed. You can see where we're going. You can see when we're sick. You can see when we're in a good mood. You could hear rant casts. I go on many rants. How many things did I banish in old episodes? Didn't I banish things? Like I banished everything from...
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of banishing.
That's right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I banished... some made it to the list here. Yeah, I banished things. I ranted about things. I said things stink. And
You say that all the time.
Yeah, I know. And it's not too popular, but I know. Not too popular. I get a lot of mail about it, but that's all right.
Is there a way to somehow merge that Freddie Mercury picture on your shirt with a similar picture of Edgar Allan Poe?
Freddie Mercury. Edgar Allan Mercury.
Mercury Poe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got this one in Chicago. This is just a random street find, like, oh, hey, you want to buy a shirt? And they hold it up and you go, all right, it feels nice thin cotton. All right, lay it on me, fatty. And here we go, it was just a street vendor with a Freddie Mercury shirt. You don't see that too often.
Well, depends on where you're at.
Yeah, it's Freddie Mercury. But, all right. Now, what do you think was... I'm going best, worst of our best and worst list. What do you think you want to hear first? The best ones or our worst list that were gong shows?
I want to hear the best ones because I know you're going to kill me on the worst ones. You hated my first fucking batch of...
Well, you want to... Well, no, because a lot of bad ones were mine too.
I don't know.
And they weren't bad episodes. See, that's the thing. See, this is where this is funny thing because as I was scrolling through the episode, I go, oh, that was actually a pretty good episode. It's just our list at the end was kind of stinking.
It was a new idea.
You're right. So let's go the best. All right, let's go best 5. All right, well, this was a fairly recent one. My best number 5 was from episode 47. The episode was called Midlife Crises.
Crises.
Yeah, crises. And the list we had on that one, which I thought was a fun list. We don't talk about chicks too often. We had the hottest sitcom moms.
Sitcom moms, I remember that one.
Yeah, I thought that was a fun one.
Yeah, that was a pretty good list because I was really interested to see where you were going to go with that whole thing.
Yeah, hot sitcom moms. All right.
Or on the bottom 5 side of it, the not hot sitcom moms. I remember one of them you had was Andorra.
Or
yeah.
Andorra, yeah.
Andorra's not hot.
No.
Not that she's ugly, but she's not hot.
Yeah, I think I had the mom from Family Man. No, the lady from Cosby Show, she stinks.
Oh, yeah, you didn't like Claire
I don't
Huxtable.
like Claire Huxtable, whoever that lady is.
Felicia Rashad.
That's it, Felicia Rashad. Never a big fan. She really annoys me. Really mean. But, all right. So that was episode 47. That wasn't bad.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
Here's another good one, B4. Where's B4? Oh, this one. This is from episode 22. Now, this was a fun episode. Remember the episode 22 called Kung Fu Gripe?
Kung Fu Gripe. I do remember. Wasn't this one of the early episodes that got lit on fire?
Well, yeah.
Or is this the episode that nobody ever watches?
I didn't know. No, that wasn't. We'll get to that one.
There's something about this episode.
Yeah, this was the one I did a Cobra Kai rant. I was wearing a Cobra Kai shirt. And, this one was Mike, your ice was clanking a lot, I remember in this one. This was the one that made Rome nuts. So I have that as the notes.
Well,
but the best, worst list on that one, which I think was one of the best lists, we had a good time on this one, board games we had in our parents' closets.
Yep.
That was a fun list. That brought back all the feels. That brought back all the memories.
Yeah. Because it's always interesting to see what other people had and the stuff. I was always fascinated with the stuff that we didn't have, but other people did have.
Right. Yeah, like I noticed, like other people had Othello. I never had Othello or Mastermind, but we all had like Stratego, or we all had like Sorry or something like that.
We had Othello, but we never had Mastermind. I remember Jones had Mastermind. I was always like, let's play Mastermind. Jones was like, no, it's stupid.
Or like Chinese checkers. You know, you'd have all the marbles in that
Chinese
round
checkers.
tin.
Yep.
You know, yeah.
I remember playing that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, or Battleship. I remember, this was covered, I got a letter from, somebody sent me a message saying, you're wrong on Battleship. I gave it a thumbs down. It stinks. I hate Battleship.
I told you, I went and bought Battleship like 5 years
you
ago.
like the Battleship. I think Battleship stinks.
Me and the girlfriend, we like playing games. There aren't a lot of two-player games.
This is true.
Believe me, we get down with the table tennis on the Wii.
Sure.
But there aren't that many two-player games. Like, we have games that are for like 6 players. You know?
Yeah, which makes sense. But
we got
right.
we got this Game of Thrones game that, you know, like there's like 8 families and everybody's got to be a different family because then you like screw people over with alliances and shit. You can't do it with just the 2 of us. Like, we'll play like Risk with just the 2 of us. You know what I mean?
You can't play Risk with 2 people. You can. But
Axis and Allies, which is like Risk but with supply lines. Super fun, but
complex.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to be like, you know, the United States and Britain.
That was one for 2 people. That was one I kept saying was Stratego. Is still, I thought, was great.
Stratego's all right. It's sort of chessy.
Yeah, but it's like anonymous chess. See, with chess, you know the rook is the rook and the bishop's the bishop. In Stratego, it's all hidden.
Yeah.
So you don't know what is where.
You know, the thing that makes me laugh is I'm thinking about, so, I mean, Battleship isn't too different from Stratego, right? When you think about
but you guess. Before.
Well, the funny thing is, so my girlfriend, she plays Battleship with a grid pattern, starting at the corners and then moving in from there. Every time. That's what she guesses every time.
So obviously you're going to put your ships not in the grid.
Yeah. So I hide her in places. Oh man, and she'll be going around and trying to find it. She'll have to narrow it down and fucking earn it. It'll be like all red, and then there's my fucking destroyer. You know.
The pegs.
It's a good time.
Yeah, that's a good game, though.
Yeah.
We're good.
I mean, look, it's better than Connect 4 or, you know,
yeah, Connect 4
Tic-Tac-Toe.
was annoying, but I like Connect 4. We used to play it in speed rounds. So Connect 4 was good fun. Fast. Like doing it as fast as you could.
Yeah, I think we tried doing that too, but it just made it louder and made my dad angrier.
Yeah, it was loud. And then when you pulled the thing and they all slide down.
Yeah. Because ours got worn out and the legs would always fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It get wobbly. Trying to do it fast, like leg falls off, they all spill everywhere.
I like Sorry with the Pop-O-Matic and Trouble, Pop-O-Matic, Trouble.
I always liked we never had the Pop-O-Matic. I always liked the Pop-O-Matic thing.
Right.
I always wanted the Pop-O-Matic. Because it was in they put it in like 3 or 4 games at one point.
Yeah, it was a thing. Yeah, the Pop-O-Matic technology, which was like a dice inside like a little metal depressed globe.
Yeah, it was like a little metal dish, and then the plastic bubbleness pushed down the outside and made the dice pop up.
Yeah, which was a fun technology of the late 70s, early 70s.
And it always worked because it didn't run on batteries.
Yes. And you didn't lose your dice because it was contained in the Pop-O-Matic area.
Dude, when we were kids, anything that ran on batteries was dead.
Yeah.
Nothing ran. Because everything was super inefficient.
True.
Batteries, I don't know if they hold a better
batteries
charge
were
now. But
terrible in the 70s.
they were terrible.
Until Duracells came around, it was shit.
Yeah, they were like Rayovacs and shit.
Yeah, those silver ones with the cat on them.
Jumping through the 9.
Yeah.
Rayovacs.
Yeah, those were terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And, but also, too, the dice were, unless you had a box of Yahtzee, dice disappeared.
No, my mom was good about it.
You had a dice drawer?
Well, my mom had an old Clue set from like an original Clue set from like the 30s or something like that. And so some of the little weapons were missing. So they got replaced over the years. The lead pipe got replaced by some sort of little brass filter from a fish tank that we had when we were like 5. Shit like that. And so she always was keeping like extra dice, extra playing pieces or whatever. You know, because sometimes for Monopoly you're substituting things. You know, sometimes somebody's a button or whatever.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
You know? Or like an actual thimble. Not the little thimble that they give you. She would just go to the sewing basket and get an actual fucking thimble.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's like, well, now it's cool. Now we're just getting stuff? you know.
Right. Next thing you know, I got a bottle cap. You're a bottle cap, and I'm a
Let's play Clue. I got a Bowie knife here. So my mom always had a stash of dice and stuff like that would sort of accumulate. When we were kids, there was a lot of rummy.
Oh, yeah.
Royal rummy, Michigan rummy. I don't know.
We never did that. Yeah, our dice were contained in Yahtzee. So Yahtzee was the go-to. Can't find dice? Go to Yahtzee.
Yeah, see, we did the rummy thing. And for a while, I was into it when I was like 7 or 8. But it was like a tablecloth thing.
Sure.
It had positions and I don't know what the hell it was. It was with chips and cards or something. I don't know.
So that was a fun list. Yeah, so that was episode 22. Look for that one, kids. Kung Fu Gripe. Here's number 3. This was a fun episode. Episode 37, number 3. The episode was called Fish Water. Now, this is one where Mike went on a rant about his water tasting like fish.
Dude,
and he yawned the whole episode.
Oh, my God.
Because he was working or whatever.
No, sometimes, honestly, in this room, it just feels like it feels like there's no air moving. It feels like it's stagnant.
Yeah.
And it's like lack of oxygen, and I just start. That's what yawning is your brain starved for oxygen.
Okay. But the list, I thought this was a good list, was 70s and 80s discontinued cereals.
You with the cereals.
I love cereal talk.
Love cereal.
I want a podcast on cereals.
So wait, so do you? Are you doing those newer, fancier, healthier cereals?
No.
What do they call those?
Magic spoons.
Magic spoons.
Those are the keto ones. No, because they're $7.50 a fucking box.
How much is regular cereal at this point?
Not much. Not bad. Well, look, a box of Frosted Mini Wheats of the Wegmans brand is like $1.99.
Oh, yeah, the Wegmans.
But if you
brand,
get if you go the
no, because I was doing that with like Honey Nut Cheerios or like Rice Chex.
Yeah, the Wegmans
shit.
version of Honey Nut Cheerios would be,
No, I was even doing Cocoa Puffs, the Wegmans Cocoa Puffs, and it was the peanut butter cups. It was the peanut butter and the chocolate ones. You love those ones.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so Wegmans, but every Giant Eagle, all the Kroger, they all probably have their own versions. But if you were to buy...
And I've always said, the generic version formula used to be the national formula until they came out with a new improved formula. Then they licensed the old one.
Yeah. And
so if you want that old flavor...
Yeah, and to buy Kellogg's or Post, it's not as expensive, but I mean, it's a sizable size, price difference. I mean, it might be like, say, for Apple Jacks, you probably pay what right nowadays? I bet you a box of Apple Jacks probably like $4.25.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably in the $4.25 realm. $3.99 to $4.49, somewhere in there.
You know what I've had a hankering for lately? Fucking honeycomb.
Old school honeycomb.
Old school honeycomb. I always love old school honeycomb.
We used to ask the parents to get us the honeycomb because the box was bigger, and I always felt like I was getting more out of it.
I just love shoveling it, fucking crunching it.
That was corn. Yeah, puffy corn.
Oh, it is corn? Yeah.
But you would get, like I said, you got your money's worth off that one. That one you could put a little dusting of sugar on there and get it.
It's already got a little dusting of sugar. Yeah. Well, I guess it's the honey.
Yeah. I remember taking that, dusting of sugar, and a little dusting of cinnamon on there. So I would have cinnamon sugar version of honeycomb.
Yeah, you love the cinnamon sugar.
Oh, that was my jam.
When they came out with Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you were like, we gotta go to the store.
Well, I would do that, but I would also, too, I had cinnamon sugar in my own container.
I remember
at home.
You and I both did that when we were in like high school or something like that, or middle school or something. We had this great idea. We'll take equal parts sugar and cinnamon, put them into a container, and that way we just make toast, butter it, and then
all ready to go. I'd dash it my coffee. I was putting it on a toast. I was doing it on everything.
I was doing it too much, man.
I almost got to the point where I was kind of cinnamoned out.
Oh.
And it's like, all right, I'm cinnamoned out.
Because it was like, you get the hot toast and then you butter it, right? And it sort of melts in and shit, right? And then you give it the little cinnamon sprinkle, spritz, right?
And then you got to get a little handful of sugar.
And you go back and you put more and more. And then it's so thick. Oh, it was getting terrible.
Right. Yeah, the ratio was off. Yeah, we were kind of...
We were nuts with it.
Yeah, we were probably a little, on the ratio. So that was number 3, but that was an okay list. So that was number 3. Number 2 list, best of. Let's see, where's number 2? Oh, this one wasn't too bad. Fairly recent episode. All right, now this could have made the worst list, but I like the episode and I like where we're going with it. It was the Hornswoggled episode, episode 46. And we talked about 1979. And that was the one where I added the Saturday morning cartoon grid. So that was a fun episode. But the best worst list on it, I thought was pretty good. It was one of your lists. But we didn't, I think we went about it wrong, or I don't know. You didn't have much controversy on it because they kind of wrote itself. Yours was TV shows they turned into movies.
Oh, yeah, that one, there wasn't much arguing in that one.
Yeah, so that kind of wrote itself.
TV shows turned into movies.
Yeah, there wasn't any irony there because it was like, all right, we know what TV shows they turned into movies, like A-Team, or like, Fall Guy.
And it's mostly recently. I remember there was the Starsky and Hutch with the Owen Wilson and
Dukes of Hazzard, wasn't it?
Dukes of Hazzard with Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott.
Yeah.
Jessica Simpson.
So they're the usual suspects. So therefore, if we would have dug deeper.
What were the good ones? Do you remember?
Oh, boy.
Do we have any of the good ones, like TV shows that got turned into movies?
TV shows that got turned into movies.
Was that what we were doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
could
thought
do it both ways.
Yeah, and I thought we had. I thought the Muppets were kind of on the honorable mention list because there's Muppet Show turned into Muppet Movie.
That's true. That's true. The movie came after the wild success of the show.
Right. I mean,
and then the Muppet movies, they did really good.
Yeah, but there's the usual suspects like, oh, okay, Chips, they redid that. Oh, the Fall Guy, whatever, And
I think I put Fall Guy on the positive list. My girlfriend loved that. She watched that Fall Guy movie. I don't know. She likes Ryan Reynolds. No, not Ryan Reynolds. The other one, the one with the cockeyed eye.
Dak Shepard?
No. Ryan
Goschlinger.
That's it.
Goschling.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said Brian Doyle Murray.
He's much older.
I know. Wrong generation. So there's usual suspects. But I guarantee you, if you and I had some homework.
Speaking of which, can you imagine if they turned The Usual Suspects into a TV show?
It could be all right.
No.
You'd need the right actors, but
no. The whole. Do you ever see the movie?
Yeah.
You know the point of the movie? You can't have a series after that.
You're right. It's already been done. Yeah.
Well, they gave it away. That's like making a Sixth Sense TV show.
Right.
Like, he's dead, everybody. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Yeah. No show. I watched the other day, which is, at some point I want to talk about it. Ghosts. It's like a newer one. And it's like...
Oh. It's based off the British show.
Yeah.
The one on CBS?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Are you watching the British one or just...
I just watched a random episode and I was like, you know what? I got to get into this. This is kind of fun. And there's a lot of room to play, a lot of room to grow. There's all kinds of... And the interaction of people, of the ghosts.
It's based off a British series from just a couple years ago, maybe still current. But so over there, it's like some hotel or bed and breakfast or something like that. So because the history is so long, they've got people from like all sorts of, historical time periods and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems like the American one's kind of the same.
Yeah. But it's fun. There's a lot going on there. But okay.
So wait, is it there's like one guy who can see the ghosts and nobody else can?
Yeah, a girl. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the rest of them are all ghosts who can interact with each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but they're commenting on what's going on.
And mayhem ensues because they're from different time periods, but then they have one centralized thing going on in the episode, like, oh, the plumber's coming over. Oh, no, we sprung a leak. And then the ghosts have to interact, and then you got some guy from World War I with somebody from the Victorian age,
See, I'd rather watch the British one.
Yeah. But you could tell how it would be fun in the writer's room. It would be fun to film it. There's so many different angles that you go, I bet that's a fun show to work on. There's a lot of creative space that doesn't seem to, you can't see the end point because they could just keep updating character. They could just keep updating ghosts. You know what I mean?
Do they do any sort of special effects on the ghosts?
Not really.
Oh, that's good.
There's like a Cub Scout guy with an arrow through his neck.
But they don't make them all glow or anything like that?
Not really, no.
Good. Okay, that's good.
No. But it's pretty fun. So, okay, yes, TV shows that turned into movies, episode 46, Hornswoggled, that's a good one. And my favorite Let's see, B1.
Actually, I probably have that list on my phone right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like I said, we should have just done it better. We should have done our homework and found ones that didn't stink.
Yeah, talk for a second. I want to see if I can pull that up real quick and just see if we can...
Yeah, and once again, guys, I got descriptions. A lot of these older episodes, if you go to episode descriptions, you'll see what the list is, you know?
Oh, I see what the list is. The list was, there is no top 5. These are all bad TV shows turned into bad movies.
Oh, that one, yeah, was all bad.
So they were all bad.
Yeah, that was one of your incantations.
Yeah, there's just 10 bad ones.
Of Orange Party.
TV shows turned into bad movies. We had The Dragnet.
Oh, yeah. Ugh.
Douche is a Hazard. Entourage.
Entourage.
The Munsters, the Rob Zombie movie. Yeah. Sex and the City. Get Smart, Chips. 21 Jump Street, Starsky and Hutch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There was no top 5. That's right.
But that's and then when I was looking at that, I was like, that's the worst list. It made me cringe. But then on the other hand, I go, maybe that's the best list because it got us talking. You know what I mean? It sent
That's the
me
whole
down.
point.
Yeah, it sent me down memory lane mixed with, or it gave me a big glass of haterade, but it doesn't matter. It still made you feel a certain way. So that's the fun of the list.
And it's fun putting it together because once you get the topic, then it's like you sit there and you go, what are, and like what are the terrible movies I've seen based off old TV shows, you know? Yeah. And then you start listing them and then you rank them. It's fun.
Now this one, keep your phone up because this one was kind of fun. We'll talk about it. My favorite one was off on episode 43, Buffalo Wild Weird. Mm-hmm. And the list on that episode, the episode was kind of mediocre, whatever. We did 1974, shitty year.
Yeah.
But the best worst list was best worst TV show absurd premises.
Oh.
Which I thought that was kind of a fun idea to play around with.
Was that one of yours?
That was one of mine, yes.
Yeah.
Best worst TV show absurd premises, episode 43.
Yeah. And did you put the 70s, 80s sort of thing, or was it all time?
I didn't. Here I didn't mention. I forget. If you got the list.
I believe we did not put on that one. I remember in editing thinking, "Oh, My Mother the Car." That was an old series in the 50s or something.
Yeah,
60s.
Talking Cars and
Right.
Herbie and the Kit. Okay, I'll go because he's a computer.
Right.
But
Mr. Ed, what are we talking about here? Is the horse magical? Was it struck by lightning?
Most absurd premise in the world. Flipper.
Well, Flipper, Lassie, all the same.
Oh God, yeah, it
Tin, tin,
stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, the most absurd premises. Wait, pull that up on your phone.
I don't have that one. That was your list.
Oh, I know, but if you pull up our YouTube page, you can just go right to the episode and you can see it right in the list.
Oh my God. All right, because your phone's being used.
Yeah, I'm using my phone for Kim. So that was episode 43. Right. Buffalo Wild Weird.
Just go to YouTube, search Shlicketty, and then when Shlicketty comes up, you just click on our little fucking badge, and it takes you to our page. All right, videos. What do you want, 47?
43.
43? Okay, that's not too long ago. There it is.
Best worst TV show absurd premises.
Yeah, it's going to start playing. Let me see here. What do we click on? Not the comments. What's the thing?
So, I don't know if I did on that one.
There we go. Let's see, more of that.
I stopped putting my list in the comments section because I felt like I was giving it away.
Oh, well then, what are you expecting me to see here?
Well, it might still be there, or it might just scroll to the end. That's all you got to do.
I'm looking at it. Oh, end of. What am I doing? Playing it?
No, don't play it.
Oh, what do I?
Just thought if there's anything on there you want to pontificate on.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we go back to 1974. Best, TV show absurd premises. Yeah, you don't have anything. We don't. There's no information on here that I can.
Oh yeah. I stopped putting. See, in the early episodes, I used to put our list in the comments section.
It is a bit of a spoiler.
Yeah, that's why I stopped doing
It's
that.
almost like we need like one of those scratch off sections.
Yeah.
Like after you watch the episode, go ahead and scratch it off just for reference.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'm giving it away. So that was a fun.
But I know probably one of the like Sanford and Son. He's a junk dealer. That's the premise, really. You know.
Sure. Or like Different Strokes. He adopted black children and
From his maid.
right. It was
That was her dying wish.
yeah. Okay.
Adopt my kids, rich white man.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There. Yeah. A lot of those '80s sitcoms were very problematic in theme.
I mean, I don't think we had it on the list. Maybe, but probably not. Like, Who's the Boss? You know, shit like that.
Oh, we didn't have Who's the Boss on.
No, I
there.
don't think we had that on the list.
Yeah,
but
we never really talked about
there's
that
so
one.
many wacky premises, man.
Yeah, Who's the Boss? That's right.
I forget what we had on that
we
list.
like Who's the
That would
Boss?
probably be a good episode. Did I like it? Yeah, I did.
You did.
I did back in the day. Back in the day, I loved TV. I loved sitcoms.
Tony Danza was cool.
Yeah, the writing was good. The characters were good. I thought
Good pacing.
I thought the interplay between him and Judith Light was pretty good.
Yeah, Judith Light was nice. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if they were planning them to have some sort of romantic angle at the beginning of the show.
had tension.
It didn't seem like it because she was so sort of cold and standoffish. Yeah, that it was kind of like that was sort of the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, "Oh, come on!" And then of course you get Mona, you know. It's like,
Yeah, the mother-in-law.
it's like Catherine Hellman. Yeah,
Yeah, she was always fun.
she was always fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good time. So yeah, I like the show. You know, the kids were all right.
Yeah, young Alyssa Milano, she's fine, she's cool.
Yeah, with her fake Brooklyn accent.
Right, I know.
No,
That's,
not
it
that
always
good of an
felt like
actress.
a B-rate Soleil Moon Frye to me. You know, it's like, she had the same agent as Punky
Totally.
Brewster.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Like, what are we doing here?
Like Punky Brewster got too cool for TV.
Right.
She's like, I don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And we were all like, come back, Punky Brewster. And then Alyssa Milano's like, I'm here.
Yeah, I'll fill the role.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
be the spunky fucking kid with the fucking
Yeah, the
New
spunky
York
kid
accent.
with a quick
You know,
comeback.
What the, you know, yeah,
Who's smart, who's wise among her years. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It never quite came off.
All right. Well, here's some of our worst lists. Now, once again, these are worst lists, but they're worst, but they were bad episodes. We just probably didn't think it out properly.
I wonder which of the ones I'm thinking of right now you're gonna nail on.
Oh, yeah. Well, this one comes in, number 5, episode 24, which was our half-assed Halloween extravaganza.
Oh, dude, that was the funnest fucking episode.
That was a fun episode. That's what I was going to say. That's where we met Edgar Allan Pearl, or Edgar Allan Squirrel.
Edgar Allan Squirrel.
Yeah. You played a theremin.
I did. Well, that was a theremin you had as a kit. You
Right.
gave me to put together.
Yeah.
I had a good time putting that together.
Yeah. You played a theremin, yeah. So that was a fun, the half-assed Halloween
I think the
episode
theremin's
was
right over
fun. Yeah. We got a lot from it. Did we meet Carl there? Gumshoe
No,
Carl?
I think that was the Christmas episode.
Oh, Christmas, Gumshoe Carl. But the list on that one, on the Halloween extravaganza, was kind of half-assed.
It was a half-ass Halloween extravaganza.
Oh, that is true, hence
That's
the name.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, you're right, hence the name.
Yeah.
All right, it was kind of bad, though, but it was the best, worst Halloween candy while trick-or-treating
No, that was a good list.
to get and give away.
That's a great list, man. That takes me right back to being like 9, 10 years old.
Really?
And you know, because like when you do it when you're a kid, and then you go and you get a little bit old, because then you're like 4 or 5, you're just like, why are they giving us candy? And then at a certain point, like 6, 7, or 8, you start being like, okay, let's get strategic about this. What sort of candy do we want?
Yeah, or
We don't want pennies. We don't want candy apples. You know, we don't want, you know.
Yeah.
And you start figuring out your neighborhood and whatever.
yeah, you figure out the neighborhood. You go, oh, them over there, they're giving us full-size Clark bars over there.
Right.
You
And
know,
it's
oh,
like,
they're gonna
run-
give us the Tootsie Rolls
you'd run
over
into
there.
the other kids in the street, and they'd be like, oh, over there, they got, you know.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, and they even got a haunted house in their garage. They're gonna give you a full-size Snicker.
Yeah, or like a box of snow caps or whatever.
Yeah. The popcorn ball. Remember getting the popcorn
I
ball?
hated the popcorn ball.
We always got one popcorn ball.
I hated it.
Yeah, or mom's cookie, like bat cookies in a Ziploc.
I don't mind that. I don't mind the
Yeah, I
cookies.
didn't mind that. Mine always disappeared. I think my parents ate them.
There are always those shortbread cookies with the thin layer, like purple
Yeah,
frosting.
yeah.
or
I think
whatever.
my parents took them thinking, tried to play it off like, you can't eat that. That's not pre-wrapped. We don't want you eating that.
That's
and they're-
not free wrapped.
Yeah. But they ate them. I know they were eating them.
Like shit from the store is good for you.
I know. I think my parents were conning us on that one.
Yeah, totally. They're like, oh, those. They're fresh. They're not going to last.
Yeah.
By the time they get to them, they'll be stale.
You don't want these bat
You're
cookies.
not going to appreciate these.
Oh, yeah, there's glitter on these. I mean, you don't want that. You got
Although the
sprinkles.
fascinating thing from, I think, the Halloween episode was you telling me that the word on the street that you hear is that the youth today really isn't that much into the chocolate candy.
No.
They're more into the fruity sort of candy stuff.
The gummy.
Which
The
sort
gummy
of
and
makes
the
sense
chewies
for
were
generations raised on those fucking, what do they call them? I forget. The little fruit,
Gummies.
the fruit gummy thing.
Yeah.
Everything's gummy. The kind of vitamins are gummies. And the fucking weed gummies are gummies. Like,
Yeah, and the more chalky, crunchy candy too. You know, it's weird. Chocolate does not have the effect, or kids don't eat chocolate like when we were kids.
yeah, and we were sort of talking about that, how we grew up, it was like mid-1800s all the way through till 1980s or until now, 2020s, that it was like chocolate was fancy. Chocolate was, ooh, man.
It's going back to fancy now.
Because remember that when we were kids, if you got fruit, like fruity sort of candy, like Smarties or fucking something like, or if you got Starburst for Halloween, weren't you like, this is a snack I could get at school,
Yeah, or that's just something you just throw in your backpack for a rainy day.
Exactly.
It's like, this is going in the front pocket of my backpack. I'll forget about it, and then you'll be happy you had it.
But if you got Snickers, you're like you're saying, when we were fucking kids, man, you get like a somebody was giving out full-size Snickers,
Yeah, a big old Milky Way.
Which is not like today with shrinkflation. Like, it was a fucking big bar. It was enough to make you sick, just one of those.
Sure.
I remember getting the Twixes, where you got the two of them, and the fucking...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kit Kats.
Oh.
A real Kit Kat. Oh,
yeah, you full-size Kit Kat with 4 of them in there.
Oh.
Because it was before they started making the mini Kit Kats with 2 of them in there,
Right. They were the square.
It was cheap. You could get a bag of them for like nothing.
Oh, I
It's
know.
like $2
Chocolate's
for a
cheap when we're
giant
kids.
bag of candy. It was nuts.
Yeah, but I remember when we filmed this, prices were kind of going out the roof because it was, post whatever.
Oh,
inflation.
something happened in the world. We need to raise prices.
Yes, and it was greedflation hit us.
It's all
and it
greedflation.
ended up in chocolate land.
Dude,
So a bag of Halloween candy was like $12.
remember back in 2012 when all of a sudden the gas got super expensive and it got up to $4 a gallon for the first time ever?
Sure.
And everybody's snapping out, and fucking Coca-Cola and Pepsi are like, we have to raise prices because gasoline prices went up.
Yeah, because it costs more to deliver.
Yeah, and then the gas went back down.
Yeah.
And they kept the prices high.
That's usually how corporations
And now
do
it's
it.
like almost $4 a gallon is the norm, and everybody's just fucking used to it.
That is. It's greedflation.
Because of the
That's how they
useless.
do
All
it.
right, I'm not getting into it.
All right. Well, we're going to number 4 of the worst list. Excuse me. Here we go. This was, Mike's list. Now, this was a good episode. This was one of our episodes which we started popping, which you mentioned earlier.
Poppin' and
Episode
lockin'.
23. It was our pre-Halloween episode, Sweeney Pod.
Oh, Sweeney Pod blew up.
Yeah,
Now,
that was the first one where, oh my God, we got listeners.
well, that was a good episode because
Yeah.
you ventured out and saw for the first time ever, knowing
Never
nothing
seen
about
it.
nothing. You didn't know anything about it
I went
at
in
all.
blind.
You didn't even know the concept or nothing.
Yeah.
And you went and saw Sweeney Todd.
Yep.
Was it a Broadway production rolling through town?
Not full Broadway, but no, it was our local theater people.
Are you sure? Sure it wasn't a traveling show?
No.
Have you ever seen one of those traveling Broadway shows?
I saw when I was a kid, I saw Annie.
We got to see Book of Mormon
Yeah.
at a Gamage Theater at ASU in Phoenix. In a ticket raffle. Fucking won the ticket raffle. So me and the girlfriend went to see it. Man, it's just impressive.
Oh yeah.
Like just the stagecraft of it all. And,
Oh, yeah.
and the performers and shit. It's
Oh yeah.
It's
That's
impressive.
like total fun. Yeah. Sweeney Todd was good. I had a good time.
yeah. Well, it's a fun show to go to. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
it's not what I expected. And after a while, I was like, oh, I know where this is. No, I don't know where this is going.
It goes where very few
Yeah.
stage musicals go.
Yeah, it kind of unfolds like you'd expect, but then there's like a little right turn that you go, okay.
Left turn.
Left
a hard left turn, and then you're like, wait, really? We're doing this
turn
now?
Glide, right turn glide. But here on that episode, that's a bad list. This was one you didn't think it out too much.
What?
Mike's list was movie theater eats.
I knew that one was going to come up. I knew that one was coming up on the list.
He got the Gong Show on that one. That was like, all right, get out of the chair, Gong Show.
Well, that
We're
one popped
gonging
in
it.
my mind because of some podcast that I was listening to where somebody was bitching about the fact that when you go to the fucking movies now, the movie theaters make their money on the concessions. So they're trying to, like, I remember at some point, they're like, you go to the movie theater, you get, box candy and popcorn and stuff. Then it's fucking nachos. Then fucking pizzas.
Right.
Then next thing you know, it's fucking ribs and wings. It's like insanity. So one guy was talking about, it's maddening when you just go to watch a fucking movie and some guy in the row in front of you has got the seafood fucking mix platter with like the shrimp and the fucking scampi and the goddamn,
Oh, that I've never experienced.
Of course not. This is a joke. This is hyperbole for comedic effect. But the point is, some stinky ass food.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to watch the fucking movie, and now you got to smell this guy's fucking snack, which is a full fucking dinner. This might have been Bill Burr. I don't know. Anyway, so the idea was, like they used to have smoking and non-smoking in the restaurants or whatever.
Sure.
Have food and non-food theaters.
Or sections.
That's what got...
A food section and non-food section.
You can't because of the fucking smell mingling.
Oh, the smell.
It's the same thing with the smoking. It was like in the old days we used to have smoking and non-smoking sections in the restaurant. You're in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't do much. Yeah, like you'd be in the back of a Denny's or an Eaton Park, and then all these kids are chain smoking.
Yeah, in the back corner. Just fucking cloud of it. Like it's drifting, it's floating. Unless they got a good air handler unit. But anyway. But that's what got me on this idea of all the eating in the fucking theaters. And then there was It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episode where Charlie took spaghetti in a Ziploc bag into the theater and he's eating.
Yeah. But I mean, it was all usual suspects. It'd be like, oh, Swedish fish, oh, juju fruits, oh, popcorn. Here we go. Number one's popcorn. Number two's,
Yeah, it was. And but the bad list was pretty entertaining.
Yes. Okay, yeah. There was a couple rants on there. So we did have, we had rant moments. So that was saved by that.
Yeah, there was some ridiculous stuff that was like, you don't want to eat that in the theater. Don't bring that to the theater.
Yeah, didn't you say something like, I don't know. Well, not nachos was a rant, but yeah, there's something else.
I forget.
Yeah.
I forget. Because I was just coming up with like the worst things to try and fucking eat in the dark in a restaurant.
Right.
That would either be stinky or, you got parts everywhere,
Yeah.
Like lobster, like seafood would probably be bad. Shells everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, I get the clinker on this number 3 here. Okay, this was episode 33, which was actually a fun episode. Episode 33 was called Cookie Farts, which was our
now wait,
New Year's Eve one.
This was because you were eating...
I was eating Christmas cookies left and right after Christmas, and we're going into New Year's, and I was just farting up a storm. So it's called Cookie Farts.
Yeah. What did you do for Christmas break? I ate all the cookies.
I ate all the cookies. I ate everyone's cookies.
I can just imagine you over the long Christmas weekend.
Oh, yeah. There was points I was eating cookies, and then I'd be like, I'm just going to go grab a cookie. I would grab a handful of cookies, eat those cookies on the way to sit down to eat cookies. Like traveling cookies. I was eating traveling cookies.
Yeah, I remember there was a time when I first moved out to Arizona. I don't know what the hell it was. I think it was with my brother's in-laws or something like that. And it was like fucking Easter. And we made up all the fucking eggs, like the hard-boiled eggs, doing the egg coloring and shit like that. Nobody thinks about how many fucking eggs it is. So it ended up being like there were like 100 or so eggs. And so the sister-in-law's, the mother-in-law was like, here, take some. So I went home with like 30 fucking hard-boiled eggs. And it gets like you're just popping them left and right.
Yeah, I can see doing it. Yeah, but 5 days in, you're like, gas is kicking in. Here we go.
5 days in,
it smells like sulfur in here.
I'm so sick of these fucking hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah. Do we have a gas leak? Yeah. So that one, so of course, well, there was a fun upside at the end of this list here. I went on a pickleball rant. I think I banished pickleball.
Is this still around?
Huh?
Is this still around? It was a fad. I don't know.
Well, they have pickleball courts places, so they have sport.
The whole time we were growing up, they had tennis courts everywhere. No one fucking played.
Yeah, I wonder if the pickleball is still holding tight. I'd like to see the numbers on pickleball.
I know it was popular in like retirement communities and like dense
Sure.
areas, like up in Scottsdale, it was a thing, but they wasn't really kicking around in Mesa where we were living.
Yeah, and Erie was kind of doing it, but it was kind of like a transition, trying to get
But it
people
seemed like
moving
you were
again.
talking about like 2 years after it.
Oh
happened
yeah,
out there
because
in
we had a couple
Arizona.
places around here that are pickleball places that are like that's all they do. It's a pickleball court. You pay to get in, and you go play pickleball.
Well, that's what you need is the soundproofing, which
Yeah.
that's the other thing out here they haven't picked up, which they fucking do out there, is noise walls along the highway. Because I live close to the highway.
Yeah, we don't have that shit here.
I hear the fucking little douche nozzles on the goddamn crotch rockets coming off the
Oh,
highway. It's like,
Oh.
yeah, all fucking night.
Funny thing is, I can hear them. I live down on 8th Street, and I can hear them. When there's somebody going across 12th Street, you can hear some
Yeah, just like whining it out. It's fucking
Oh,
little
some
douche
fucking
nozzles.
jag off. Oh, I hate those people.
I know, because it's so
Rant.
fucking loud. It's like, look at me, look at me. It's like, yeah,
Oh.
look at you.
I know. And he's speeding to a red light. Oh, you got to the red light first. So, yeah, but the list on that one, that was number 3. It stunk. Of course, it's resolutions.
Oh, yeah. So, so what? So what?
I know. But a little, I mean,
Don't get defensive about
we
it.
should have. What's wrong with my resolution?
So what? But that was at least a New Year's episode, right?
Yeah, but we should have kneaded the clay a little deeper than that. That wasn't real. That was kind of like, all right.
Probably.
Yeah, we weren't digging too deep.
Whatever.
Surface level.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, all right. Here's my number 2 worst one, which great episode. I had fun on this one. Episode 39, reheating the nachos. That was a good episode. But the best worst list on that one was, I thought it'd be more fun, but it wasn't. The 3-panel newspaper comic strips.
That's right.
I thought we were going to go down memory lane. It was going to be some kumbaya. Oh my God, do you remember this? Well, both you and I were like, no, I don't remember that. No,
Yeah.
I don't remember that. No, I don't remember.
Yeah, because
There was a disconnect where it was like, all right.
yeah, because you
expected
didn't
more.
You didn't read any of the cool comic strips like Prince Valiant or
I mean, I read The Phantom and things like that.
kidding.
There was that. They had the usual, but the 3-panel comic strips that we read in the newspaper, great idea. And you'd think it would summon up some kind of good Wayback Machine memory thing that I was hoping for, but it didn't happen. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the 3-panel comic talk could come back someday in a different form, but
Although,
I couldn't bring it to life.
I hear what you're saying with the 3-panel thing, because that's always like, it's like the whole, it's boiled down to premise, elaboration, punchline.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very simple. But, we just ended up talking about the comic strips, which sometimes were 3-panel things, like for better or for worse, and sometimes they were just one big fucking panel.
Yeah.
Where it's just like the fucking mother crying, and you're like, okay, that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, yeah.
I guess Judy, what's her face, couldn't fucking get it together.
Yeah, it was like some soap opera square.
Because it was going on for like 18 fucking years. Like the little kids at one point, now they're going to college, and it's like, all right, you know what? I'm out.
Yeah, and if you had all those in a book, would it be a cohesive story or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because think of it. Imagine it. You're a fucking cartoonist.
Yeah.
National syndication. You got your fucking little family, your little fucking kids. All you got to do is come up with one fucking idea
Right.
for a 3-panel situation once a week. Once a week? Probably once a week.
No, it was every day.
Is it daily?
Yeah, except for Sunday, because Sunday had the colored. Man. Yeah, you had 5 days, 4 days, or 6 days a week.
I wonder what the lead time is on that. Probably like a week.
Yeah.
She's probably running like a week ahead.
Yeah, you'd have to get a couple ahead, but you'd pretty much be what you're doing.
I mean, would there be like some, like
But from an artist's point of view,
2 hours
you'd
in the
only be-
day that you sit down and you just fucking sketch it? Because it's not like they were high art drawings.
No.
You know.
And especially if you had a writer that storyboarded you, and I would say I was the artist and you were the creator, you would just go, okay, this panel, this panel, this panel, tell me what to do. Where are my work parameters?
Here's what happened. My kids did this, ba 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 ba, and then they said that, ba ba ba, and then I said ba 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 ba. 3 panels. You're good to go.
Yeah. What was the one that I remember ranting on the one that was drawn horrible?
Kathy Guyswhite. Kathy.
Kathy.
I still remember that.
That makes me want to have a seizure. It stinks so bad.
I still remember walking into the fucking break room of my old job just thinking about your fucking Kathy fucking Guyswhite fucking.
Oh, it's just not good. It's just not good. That's the newspaper owner's wife needed a job. And she goes, I can draw. I used to have this funny thing. My friends told me it was funny. And it was just her with her dumb doodles, and it was just like, Mondays, what can you do?
You're not the only one. I remember Tina Fey did a fucking slamming Kathy thing on 30 Rock.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was like a 3. It was like dumb thing, and then she's like, wah, whatever.
Yeah, it was like wah wah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, that was the worst. So yeah, that was a bad list. Didn't connect. And I think here's the worst ones. Excuse me. Episode 49, fairly recently, 2 episodes back.
What?
Yeah, my list was not very good on this one. But the episode was called Superman Stinks. Because I went on a rant, because I think Superman stinks.
As a cartoon character.
Yeah, oh yeah. But
what are you going to do with him story-wise?
I know, he's omnipotent. What, is he blowing on things? He's flying around, he's throwing garbage. He's
never in danger.
He's going to fuck up. If he flies fast around the world, he's going to change the axis direction.
That was just a movie thing, right?
I don't even know. I tried to block it out because it stinks so bad.
I just remember everybody getting in an uproar when that happened in the movie. Was it the first movie, second movie?
I don't know. He would have caused Armageddon if he did.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't like reverse the polar caps by flying around.
He reversed the spin of the Earth.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Because the Earth, goes like this way or whatever. He flew so fast
that he reversed the spinning of the Earth. Superman stinks. Can we all agree? This is too much. It's
as soon
too
as
much.
he slowed it down and stopped it, all the oceans would slosh and flood everyone.
Oh my God! Let alone the mayhem and the flooding and the winds and the storms. It would have been the end of civilization.
It was the dumbest thing.
Oh my God! So somebody has to agree with me that Superman is just not good. It's not a good character.
I think everybody's with you. It's not like
and he looks ridiculous. That outfit stinks.
Comics still sell? I mean, are people into it? I mean,
I don't know. They keep making Superman movies.
Because it's iconic. I get it. You know what I mean? It's like Wonder Woman. Are there ongoing Wonder Woman stories? Who's buying them? What are they talking about now?
I don't know. And who thinks that's good?
Wonder Woman banking? Does she have problems with identity theft? Like, seriously, after 90 fucking years.
Bulletproof bracelets and a lasso of truth and an invisible jet.
Yeah, because it's not like they're coming that's the whole, you can keep Batman going because it's about the villains.
Yeah.
You can tease it out. What do you got for villains for Superman? You had to make up dumb shit like Mr. Mxyzptlk?
I know.
Or anti-Superman?
Yeah, or go back to Zod and them from Krypton.
More Kryptonians? Why don't we just have a fucking show about people on Krypton then?
Yeah, or the evil genius Lex Luthor, who has smart ways of finding kryptonite.
But no powers.
But except for he's just a genius. He's smart.
So what he finds kryptonite. So now Superman doesn't have his powers, so he's a regular guy. He's still in better shape than you. He'll beat you up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't Superman just grab somebody by the face and crush their skull? End of story.
You know what?
You're dead.
Speaking of that, I haven't watched it yet. That Brightburn movie.
All right.
It's like one of those ideas where sure, Superman landed in the field of this nice couple in Kansas that raised him right. What if he didn't? What if he landed in the projects of Hoboken?
Oh, right. Yeah. What if he landed in Compton?
What if he had a questionable moral compass growing up?
Ah.
That's the concept of that Brightburn movie, which it's an old movie, but I haven't watched it yet, but I want to check it out.
I could see the elevator pitch on that one. Well, in that episode, Superman Stinks, tune in, episode 49. There was a best worst list I did at the end. I didn't think it out. But it could have worked. 70s and 80s pet show characters, which was kind of bad.
Pet show characters.
Shows that had pets as characters.
Pets from 70s, 80s TV shows.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I thought it was going to be, once again, more fun. I thought it was going to invoke the Wayback Machine. I thought we were all going to have a aw moment or a wow, cool, yeah moment. But
not so much.
sure, yeah. Beretta was an afterthought.
What the fucking goddamn bird?
Yeah.
I don't even know this name.
Yeah.
Does it have a name?
I don't know. It's Beretta, the Beretta cockatiel. It probably had a bird.
And
name.
the whole theme song of the show was
Excuse me.
Keep Your Eye on the Sparrow.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? It was like a hit song.
Yeah, Beretta Bird had a name. Was it like Fred or something stupid?
Fuck if I know, man. I mean, I remember watching the show a little bit when I was a kid, but I don't know why.
I just watched it because it was on. I don't know if I liked it or hated it. I just watched it because it was on. Yeah, I don't.
That's how it was when we grew up, man.
That's TV when we grew up, so
You got 4 channels, one of which you're really not going to watch at all.
Yeah.
So you got ABC, NBC, and CBS. Go.
Yeah, now, do you find yourself, much like Netflix, like I find myself spend an hour trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I load up my watch list.
That's been the bane of my existence for like 20 fucking years.
Yeah. I think I have everything ducked up. So when somebody goes, hey, have you seen that new Superman movie? My instinct goes, oh yeah, I have that in my watch list.
Oh yeah.
I haven't watched it. It's been there for 2 years.
Yeah.
You know.
That was the same thing. I had that Brightburn recorded on my DVR for like 3 fucking years.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it, and then they fucking changed the DVR and took it all away.
Yeah, I DVR'd shit that I'll just be like, all right, I've got a bunch of shit on my DVR. What am I going to watch it? I'd like to think so. I mean, I'm waiting for myself to, I don't know, be bedridden for a week, but I've never been bedridden for a week. So, I mean, I don't know when I'm going to watch 30 episodes of Dateline. I don't know why they're recorded on my DVR.
You got to cancel that shit.
No, the girlfriend likes Datelines, I know. And they're all the murder pattern, you know. Could it be? Dateline murders.
Is this from the Dateline channel? No. They got whole channels now.
Yeah, they have a whole channel, yeah.
They have a Sherlock Holmes channel.
Yeah, we were watching the Dateline channel, and it's like, watch one right after the other.
Yeah.
I immediately went to the DVR and goes, oh, there it is. Delete. Oh, I already saw that one. Delete. I actually had to go to my DVR and delete the ones I've already seen.
Yes.
Because it keeps recording.
Oh, because you got it set to record all episodes. Mm-hmm. You got to change that.
Yeah. Well, I've unlimited DVR, but still, it's clogging the drain.
Like, well,
I don't know if it's
I
clogging
guess the only advantage of DVRing it rather than just going in and on-demanding it is being able to skip commercials.
Commercials, yes.
Yeah. It's the bane of the existence.
Yeah, and especially Dateline, they do have a way of keeping you hanging, and you know, in between suspects or in between questionings, they'll go to cut the commercial. So it's always a drug ad. Recently,
the girlfriend has come around, and she's into watching that show Dead Files with me. You ever seen Dead Files?
Dead Files. I don't know Dead Files.
Travel Channel show. It's been around for like 15 years.
Dead Files.
You got the psychic, and then you got the former New York City homicide cop.
Ooh, okay. I like the elevator pitch here.
They go in and they do separate investigations of the place.
Oh, I could see where your girlfriend would be into that.
So I tried to get her into it like years ago. She fucking wasn't having it. Now she's into it. Because I told her the most interesting parts is, so there's Amy Allen, the psychic. Yeah. So she goes in with her guy who just has a little camera. And so he'll go in and like cover up photos and shit like that. And then she goes and does her walkthrough, and he films it for her records, and he'll ask her questions and shit like that. Uh-huh. Her walkthrough and the shit that she says is always fascinating. Then Steve DeShavi, he's a former Marine, former New York City homicide cop.
Okay.
He goes in, talks to the homeowners, goes and does historical research at the library, talks to local historians.
Okay.
Gets all the facts and stuff. Then, so Amy's walk is really interesting because of shit that she sees and she talks about. Because the shit that she sees and talks about, she doesn't always tell at the reveal, which is the other interesting part.
Yeah.
Where they sit down with the homeowners.
And she feels like a legit psychic in a weird way, you know? I don't
she's
know if I believe in a lot of that stuff, but she's got me kind of on the fence.
She's legit. Watch the show.
Yeah.
Listen to what she says and what she's talking about. You got to watch it. They don't make a thing of it. But if you watch enough episodes, you get little things here and there.
Yeah.
Like, I saw an episode recently where she actually let the spirit jump her into her body. And she was like snapping out because she's experiencing this person as they were dying. They didn't know that they were dying. You know what I mean? Wow. So they were just freaking out. And they were like, what's happening to me? And so she's freaking out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
She normally doesn't do that. She talks about it. She doesn't let them fucking jump them because, you know, then they're taking over your body.
Sure. That's, risky.
Yeah. So it's super interesting. Anyway, so it's been on for like 15 years. So it's an interesting show. So recently I got her into watching it. So that's sort of fun.
We've been watching on, you need to get Apple TV because everything on Apple TV is killer. And it's all the stars you know doing shows you haven't seen
Why
yet.
am I paying 20-some bucks a month for fucking Netflix? I never go to Netflix to watch anything.
Netflix is, other than their documentaries, might as well be Redbox.
I got 2 things I'm interested in on Netflix.
You might as what are you going to watch on Netflix? It's going to be like, here we go, Leprechaun 4.
I watched that Scottish fucking comedy series with those 2 old guys, which is fucking goddamn comedic genius. It's hysterical. Called Still Game. And then I want to watch that goddamn Godzilla -1 movie, which I heard so much about, but I haven't fucking watched it.
Yeah, you were only going to get Netflix for about a month or two. And
I was going to get Netflix for
it.
1 month and watch that goddamn lame-ass Mike Tyson stupid Paul Logan
That's
fight.
right, yeah, you got it for the fight, and then you're like, I'm going to cancel it, and that's when you're working. Then you lose your job and keep Netflix.
I know, for 20-some bucks a month. I never go to it. It's like there's almost nothing on there I want to watch.
Yeah,
although it does have a shit ton of
accidentally
comedy
getting renewed on it, and we keep saying we're gonna get rid of this.
You know what I'm like that on is the fucking Amazon Prime.
Yeah, other than Rings of Power,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. I
but
want to see
that
the
comes
Rings of
with
Power.
your Amazon Prime.
Yeah, I know, which is $180 a year.
I know, but
now
it is.
That's more than my HBO, my beloved HBO, which I watch all the time. Like, I go to sleep with Talking Sopranos or Sopranos on all night long.
Yeah, HBO Max or Max is good.
Because I like the TV and the talking and the going. Talking Sopranos on HBO, there's nothing better. They start the episode, it's like a 5-second intro, and they start talking. They talk about the whole episode, about an hour, and then they play like a 5-second outro. 5-second intro, play the next episode. It just goes and goes and goes.
Wow.
Love it.
And no commercials.
I got Roman to it too, because he's like me with just Sopranos just like all the time.
Oh, I didn't know he was a super. I guess. Yeah, he was a.
We talk about it all the time.
Okay.
The last time I saw him, he came over. He's like, did you watch Sopranos?
Yeah.
Oh my God, he had the fucking the Defiler song in his head.
Oh.
Come on, defile you.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
God.
gotta rewatch it.
Oh, that's so funny.
How are we doing on time?
That's good stuff. All right, we're probably good.
We're good.
Yeah.
So it was a good anniversary episode. We're going to resume next week with 1983.
Yeah.
Next week, 1983, we'll have new hijinks.
Yeah, all the movies are going to be in 3D.
Oh, we have 3D. Oh, 3D's coming into play.
Yeah, everything that was a third movie in 1983 came out in 3D.
Funny thing you mentioned that. I scratched off the list of things that were invented then, and 3D film did not make the list, but they had 3D printers made 1983. Did you know that? But they only used them in manufacturing.
Oh.
Yeah. The first of them.
Speaking of which, I've been sort of intrigued with some of the 3D printers coming out lately.
The newer ones?
Yeah. Because
I have a guy. You can talk to a guy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Because they're not terribly expensive. And there's a new one that came out that you could put different media into it. So you could print in like PVC or polychloride or ABS plastic or whatever. Mm-hmm. Which it used to be like the machines only did one media.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
sort of interesting.
It is. It's a replicator.
It is, and they're getting to the size now. So Adam Savage did a review. So this new one, it's by this company called Bamboo, and Adam Savage was doing a review on it. They printed a full-size, like NASA space helmet. It's big enough to print like
Wow.
a fucking helmet, which is pretty good size for. It was like it's like $600. It's not that much. Yeah, I know.
I know they have versions at the library you can use if you have programs and stuff.
And you know, I love the 3D CGI shit, and so that's all what that's about. I love making the models and the fucking.
Yeah, that would be the thing. Make like a plastic model, or like, I'm just start easy. Like, okay, I'm gonna scan Lucky Juarez, and I'm gonna make a Lucky Juarez. You could do that, and it would just be one color, and you could paint it and just do your thing.
Like, stupidly, what I was thinking about doing is I'm obsessed with like. Kind of like your brother with the goddamn HBO fucking intro things, like, miniatures and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Now with my job that I'm doing a lot of soldering and shit like that. So it's kind of like, all right, let's get these LEDs. Let's get these LED fucking strip lights. We can take out the LEDs themselves, wire them to fucking whatever we need to. Battery switch, whatever the fuck,
Sure.
you know what I mean? Put shit together. If I could 3D print elements and then fucking put wiring in it, like that sort of shit.
Yeah.
LED and that sort of stuff.
For the shot.
Yeah, I like to do a lot of like scale model sort of shit for like cinematography setups and stuff like that. I haven't done it in a while since I moved
Yeah,
here.
you haven't been doing that since you've been here.
No, because this has fucking been a struggle. But anyway, next episode we'll talk about
We'll talk about it. Glad
Struggle's
for
real.
tuning in. Go to those back episodes, everybody. Come on, let's get some numbers up and check them on out. They're fun. They're good listens. It's all right. It's okay. And you can see how we've grown. Shlickety Doo cast out.